Trib Live Radio continues. Time for our sports legal segment this week with Pittsburgh attorney Frank Walker. Check him out online at frankwalkerlaw.com. Real talk, real experience, and real results. Frank joining us as always to talk about some of the boys gone bad in the in the sports world. Every week we seem to have some plentiful examples, but in their own lives, Frank, hopefully people are on the straight and narrow. If they're not or they got some problems, they can come see you, right?
Absolutely. Offer free consultations. They can visit the website, get information about some of the legal situations they may be in, some of the penalties they may be facing. And also I have the toll-free number on there. They can check me out, give me a call, schedule a consultation. Hopefully get them some help. Yeah,
get them some advice, too. And 4th of July weekend, hopefully you're not too busy, but I imagine, that's going to happen. Hopefully people stay safe, right?
Yeah, my message to the listeners and to everyone I speak with is just enjoy yourself. Definitely enjoy yourself, enjoy your families. If you're going to engage in drinking alcohol and doing some other activities that will render you incapable of driving, just stay off the road. Call a cab, ask for a ride, or crash on someone's couch. Don't endanger your own life, and more importantly, the lives of other people who are just innocent bystanders. They're just walking around, and all of a sudden you have this 2-ton vehicle, and you're incapable of driving. So just play it safe, be responsible. If you're going to enjoy yourself, but do it at home or somewhere where you are not endangering the lives of others.
Frank, we talked, I think, several weeks here about Kenny Britt, the wide receiver from the Tennessee Titans. The guy has just one problem after another. He recently pled guilty to motor vehicle violations on a speeding arrest. Earlier this month, suspected of carrying a marijuana cigar at a car wash. He faces a charge of resisting arrest in his home state in Jersey. And I guess he has now surrendered to police on 2 warrants of providing inaccurate information on separate driver's license applications. Have you ever seen this?
Yes. And you will be surprised at how often this issue comes up. And it's usually because they're after you for something more significant, and they're just combing through your lifestyle with a fine-tooth comb and making sure they can find any misstep that you may have taken over your life, and they bring it all up. The good thing is that he turned himself in. He surrendered, because a lot of times people find out there's warrants out for their arrest, and they try to just, you know what, I'm just going to hang out until they come get me. They'll never find me. The biggest misconception is that they'll forget about it. It's so insignificant. No one's thinking about it. No one's thinking about me for a false ID 10 years ago or 5 years ago on an application at a gun store. But they're looking at it, and eventually if a warrant's out for you, they will come and pick you up. So it's best if you have a warrant, seek an attorney, get some advice, have them walk you in, turn yourself in. Do not give any statements. Have them speak to your attorney, and don't let them come find you. Go to them if you find out the warrant's out for your arrest. But I think that's the smartest thing he did. Based on the media, what I'm reading, that's probably the smartest step he's taken thus far.
And even if it's a misdemeanor, they're going to come at you at some point. There's no warrants that go unserved?
Oh yes. Technically, there are some warrants that they lay dormant for a while, but they will find you. Yeah. They will find you, and it's best you find them first, because you don't want them coming on your job. You're thinking, oh, this is long gone, and you're at work somewhere, and all of a sudden the sheriffs and the deputies come knocking, banging at your job, embarrassing you and everyone around you and your reputation just because you had outstanding driver's tickets or you failed to pay fines on a disorderly conduct back in 2003.
Yeah, that's a good point. Frank Walker, our guest. It's the sports legal segment. Charlie Sheen has admitted to taking steroids. I don't know if people have seen this story. For like 6 or 8 weeks when he filmed the movie Major League in 1989. And he adds that the performance-enhancing drugs helped his fastball jump 6 miles per hour from 79 to 85. So he was just winning back then, Frank. Do you get any steroid-related cases at the Frank Walker firm?
I do. You get those cases, enhancement cases, and sadly, the defendants or the people who are accused of taking them, they're getting younger and younger and younger. You have to, these kids, there needs to be, obviously the NFL and NBA and all the major league associations, they've taken a major step in saying steroids are bad, enhancement drugs are bad. They're taking a major stance on them. And with the hearings that we're having with individuals taking steroids, accused of taking steroids, I think that's putting a lighter on saying this is not the right thing to do. This is not the way to get ahead. Hard work, determination, commitment, that's the way to get ahead, as opposed to taking these substances that will harm your system and harm other people around you.
And it made him irritable, too. So, like, do some of your defendants come in and you can tell they're a little on edge?
Yes, and not just steroids, but any drugs or narcotics in your system, or alcohol for that matter. They come in and you can immediately tell that something's wrong, and it renders them incapable of making a correct decision or a decision based on fact or based on reason. And sometimes you just tell them to go sleep it off. find something else to do, and then come back when you're ready to talk and you're ready to be coherent and listen to what I'm saying and listen to the advice that I'm giving you.
Well, thankfully, Charlie shut that down, at least after the movie filming. He'd wanted to keep himself in good shape for that time. Speaking of shutdowns, the poker shutdown has continued. In the States, it's been gone for a while, but Full Tilt Poker has some serious legal problems in the U.S., and I guess regulators on the British Channel Islands on Wednesday suspended the gambling license there of Full Tilt Poker. And basically, there's an investigation going on to indictments in New York, right? They're accusing the company execs of bank fraud, money laundering. This sounds like this goes pretty deep.
It does. And I believe it's important to note that I believe the Fifth Circuit has already ruled on the issue a few years ago. They talked about that online gambling is not illegal per se, but just when you're trying to, quote-unquote, wash money and wire money just to evade taxes and evade liability for certain activities, then that's where they're going to find you. So there's a bill being introduced. I believe it's Congressman Barney is going to introduce a bill to further legalize online gambling so everyone knows it's legal in the U.S. But as of right now, technically, it is legal to do, but when you're dealing in offshore organizations as such who are not regulated by the United States, if something happens and your money's not backed up, your money's gone. Because a lot of times you win money and all of a sudden you have a little kitty. Let's say you have a kitty of a bank account of about $1,000. You're thinking, oh, well, it's offshore, it's fine, it's insured, it's with a reputable company. Obviously, they're on the internet, and all of a sudden they get shut down, and where's your money? You don't get your money back. You're waiting, you're calling. There's no one to call. Phones are disconnected. So I imagine there's a lot of angry people out there today.
Do you think they have any legal basis on this, Frank, to get their money back? If you're a guy who had some of that in an account here and it's gone, someday do you think they'll get it back?
Someday. I mean, I believe the first reaction was when we'll get our money back, and now I think it's gone to if we get our money back.
Jeez.
I don't know. I just don't know it. I mean, it's a gray area because it's an offshore company, technically, and they're not regulated by the United States. So who are they going to go to? They're not going to go to the township police. And so unless the government steps in and mandates that they freeze all the accounts and pay back all these investors, or not investors, but gamblers, I seriously doubt it. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise to me if all these people who had accounts there were not able to get their money back. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
This is the next frontier for you, Frank. You should get some Channel Islands, Frank Walker extenuating firms. You might be able to make a buck or two over there.
It sounds promising.
Hey, Frank, for folks, again, that want to get a hold of you for some local advice and get your experience, how do they do so?
They can visit the website, frankwalkerlaw.com. Call me 1-800-496-4143. And my cell number is on the website also, 412-532-6805. Phones are answered 24 hours a day. I have a wonderful administrative staff who answers the calls and tries to get help and figure out what exactly you need. And they locate me whether I'm in trial or they find me where I am, and they try to filter the call to me. So you can definitely visit the website 24 hours a day, frankwalkerlaw.com, or 1-800-496-4143.
Have a great 4th of July, Frank. We appreciate it as always.
I appreciate it. Take care, Ken.
frankwalkerlaw.com. I'm Ken Laird. This is Trib Live Radio.